There is a reason this message found you now. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Now. Because something has shifted in the story surrounding your heart, and even if no one has said it aloud yet, your spirit has already felt it. You sense distance before words explained it. You noticed the silence before anyone admitted something had changed. And lately, one question has been echoing inside you louder than the rest. Did they really find someone new? Listen carefully. Yes, another person has entered their world. But do not let that sentence break you before you hear the rest. Because what appears to be a new beginning is not what it seems. Stay with this until the end. Do not skip. Something deeper is unfolding than you realize. What they found was not peace. What they found was not certainty. What they found was a distraction wearing the costume of destiny. At first, your person believed this new connection meant something. They thought perhaps this was their sign to move on. They thought perhaps this new energy was easier, lighter, simpler than the intensity they felt with you. Because what they shared with you was never casual. And that frightened them. You awakened parts of them they were not ready to face. You mirrored truths inside them they had spent years avoiding. You made them feel something so profound, so undeniable, that instead of leaning in, they ran. And when they ran straight into someone who felt safer because the connection lacked depth. But here is the truth no one has told you yet. The more time they spend with this new person, the more they realize what is missing. Because surface-level attention can imitate affection. But it cannot replace soul recognition. That new person may speak kindly. They may look impressive. They may seem like everything your person claimed they wanted, yet something keeps unsettling them. Something keeps whispering in the back of their mind, this is not the same. Because no matter how much they try to force it, no matter how much they pretend this new chapter is exciting, their heart keeps comparing every moment to you. The way you understood them without explanation. The way your energy lingered in their mind after every conversation. The way being near you felt less like chemistry and more like remembering something ancient. That is why this new person is not bringing them the peace they expected. Because imitation can only survive for so long before truth reveals itself. And truth is already revealing cracks. The mask is slipping. Your person is beginning to notice things they ignored in the beginning. The conversations feel hollow. The connection feels rushed. The excitement fades faster than expected. And behind closed doors, they are starting to ask themselves a question they never thought they would ask. Why does this feel empty when it should feel right? Because what they are experiencing now is contrast. Sometimes people do not understand the value of what they had until they encounter what it is not. Sometimes the replacement is not sent to become the future, but to expose what was real all along. Do not miss this. This new person did not erase your connection. They exposed it. They exposed how rare it was, how deep it was, how impossible it is to duplicate. And now your person is entering the most uncomfortable stage of all, realization. Realization that they may have walked away from something irreplaceable. Realization that what they thought was freedom may have been loss. Realization that your absence has not become easier to live with. It has become louder, even while standing beside someone else. They think of you, even while trying to move forward. Memories of you interrupt them, even while pretending this new connection matters. Part of them knows their heart is not fully there, and that truth is beginning to change everything. But this is only the beginning, because what they are about to discover about this new person will force them to confront a reality they have been avoiding for far too long. A truth is coming to light, a revelation they did not expect, and when it fully surfaces, nothing in this story will remain the same. Stay ready. And then, the illusion begins to crack. What looked perfect from the outside, what seemed effortless in the beginning, what your person tried so hard to convince themselves was better, is no longer holding together. Do not skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what comes next. Your person is starting to see the truth they were blind to before. The charm that once impressed them now feels rehearsed. The affection that once excited them now feels conditional. The connection they thought was growing suddenly feels forced. And for the first time, they are noticing something deeply unsettling. This new person is not who they first appeared to be. Not because they are evil, not because they are cruel, but because they were never the answer your person imagined. They were a lesson disguised as an opportunity. Listen closely. At first, your person ignored the signs. They ignored how often conversations felt shallow. They ignored how quickly the emotional warmth faded after the excitement wore off. They ignored how every interaction somehow left them feeling more confused than fulfilled. But truth has a way of surfacing when silence gets loud enough. And now, they are seeing the pattern. They are realizing this connection was built more on appearance than substance. More on timing than alignment. More on temporary comfort than lasting depth. And that realization is hitting them harder than they expected. Because now they understand, just because someone new arrives does not mean they are meant to stay. Sometimes new people enter only to reveal old feelings never disappeared. Your person thought distance from you would weaken what they felt. Instead, distance magnified it. Because every flaw in this new connection keeps reminding them of what was different with you. With you, conversation flowed naturally. With you, silence still felt meaningful. With you, they never had to force emotional closeness. But now, everything feels like effort. Everything feels performative. Everything feels like trying to recreate a feeling that only existed once. And that is when the most painful truth begins to settle into their heart. They did not move on because they stopped feeling for you. They moved on because they were trying to escape the intensity of what they felt. But feelings delayed are not feelings erased. And now those buried emotions are returning stronger than before. Do not miss this moment, because your person is entering the stage where regret begins. Not small regret, not passing regret, the kind of regret that keeps someone awake at night replaying every moment they mishandled. They are remembering the times you cared for them when no one else understood. They are remembering your patience, your depth, your presence. They are remembering how rare it was to be loved in the way you loved them. And now they are forced to confront a painful realization. They may have mistaken rare love for ordinary. They may have treated something sacred like something replaceable. But here is where everything shifts. Because the truth about this new person is no longer just emotional. Your person is beginning to understand that this connection was never built for permanence. It was built to expose what they were truly missing. And the more they see that truth, the more your name returns to their mind. Unexpectedly, constantly, powerfully. They hear songs and think of you. They revisit memories without trying. They compare moments they should not compare. And no matter how much they attempt to suppress it, one thought keeps returning. What if I let go of the wrong person? That question is haunting them now. Because they know something they did not know before. Not everyone can be replaced. Not every connection can be recreated. Not every soul can be forgotten. And you You were never ordinary in their story. You were the standard they are now measuring everyone against. Stay till the end of this journey. There comes a moment when pretending is no longer possible, and your person is approaching that moment now. The distractions are fading. The excitement is wearing off. The illusion they built around this new connection is collapsing piece by piece, and underneath it all, one truth remains. They still have not forgotten you. Do not skip this. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what happens next. What your person feels now is heavier than sadness. It is realization, the kind that arrives too late. The kind that makes someone stare into silence and wonder how they let something precious slip through their hands, because suddenly they understand what this new person could never give them. Presence without depth is not love. Attention without understanding is not connection. Affection without soul is not enough. And now your person knows. They were not searching for someone new. They were searching for relief from missing you. But no one could become you. No one could recreate your energy. No one could mirror the way you saw through them. No one could make them feel known the way you did. And now that truth is no longer whispering. It is echoing. Your absence has become louder than the relationship standing in front of them. They smile in places where they feel empty. They nod in conversations while their mind drifts elsewhere. They try to remain present. Yet their heart keeps traveling backward, back to the words left unsaid. Back to the moments they mishandled. Back to the connection they assumed would always be there. And now, regret is beginning to transform into longing. This is where everything changes. Because regret makes people think, but longing makes people move. Your person is no longer simply remembering you. They are beginning to miss you in a way they cannot control. They miss your voice unexpectedly. They miss your presence during ordinary moments. They miss how safe it felt to be fully understood. And perhaps most painfully of all, they miss the version of themselves they were when they were close to you. Because you did not just touch their heart. You awakened parts of them they cannot rediscover anywhere else. That is why this new connection is failing. Not because the other person lacks value, but because your person's heart was never fully available to begin with. Part of it remained with you, and now the truth they tried to avoid is standing directly in front of them. They left physically, but emotionally, they never truly moved on. Let that sink in. While trying to build something elsewhere, they are becoming more aware of you than ever before. Your name crosses their mind during quiet moments. Your memory interrupts their peace. Your absence has become the standard by which they now measure everything. And here is the revelation they are struggling to accept. The person they thought they replaced you with only made them realize how irreplaceable you are. Read that again in your spirit. They thought someone new would help them forget. Instead, that person became the mirror that exposed the truth. And now your person stands at a crossroads. Because once someone realizes they chose the wrong path, they begin asking themselves a terrifying question: is it too late to go back? That question is consuming them now. They want to know if the door is still open. They want to know if you still think of them. They want to know if what was broken can somehow be rebuilt. But before they move, before they reach out, before they decide whether to return, something happens that forces them to make a choice they can no longer avoid. A final moment is coming. A moment that will push them toward either complete surrender or permanent silence. And when that moment arrives, their next action will reveal everything. And then, the moment they feared finally arrives. The silence becomes unbearable. The distance becomes heavier than their pride. The thought of losing you forever becomes more painful than the fear of reaching out. So now, they stand at the edge of a decision that could change everything. Do not skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in what happens next. Your person can no longer pretend they are unaffected. The connection with the new person has shown them everything it was meant to show them. It exposed the emptiness. It exposed the comparison. It exposed the truth they spent so long trying to deny. Their heart never left you. And once someone accepts that truth, there is no going back to pretending. Now every day feels different for them. They hesitate before speaking to the other person. They pause before replying. They withdraw emotionally in ways even they do not fully understand. Because when the heart knows where it belongs, everything else begins to feel like noise. And your person is now hearing that truth louder than ever. They have replayed your memories more times than they can admit. They have imagined what they would say if they spoke to you again. They have rehearsed apologies in their head that you may never hear, yet, because the closer they get to reaching out, the more one fear stops them. What if you no longer want them? That fear shakes them deeply, because now they understand your worth in a way they did not before. Now they know what your absence truly feels like. Now they realize that if they lost you for good, it would be because of their own choices, and that realization humbles them. For the first time, their pride is breaking. Their ego is softening. The walls they built around their emotions are beginning to fall. Because longing can only stay hidden for so long before it demands expression. And your person is reaching that breaking point. Something inside them is building. A pressure. An urgency. A feeling that if they wait any longer, they may lose their chance forever. That is why the next move may come unexpectedly. A message. A call. A sudden return into your world when you least expect it. Because they are beginning to understand. Some people spend their whole lives searching for what they already had. And by the time they realize it, it is often almost too late. Your person does not want, almost too late, to become their story. So now, they are being pulled toward a choice: remain silent and live with regret, or risk vulnerability for the possibility of something real. And listen carefully, the person who once ran from the intensity of this connection is now being transformed by the pain of your absence. They are no longer the same version of themselves who walked away. Loss has taught them. Distance has changed them. Regret has opened their eyes. Because sometimes, people do not understand the value of a soul connection until life places them in situations where nothing else compares. That is exactly what happened here. That someone new they found did not become your replacement. They became the revelation. The revelation that what existed with you was rare. The revelation that what they felt for you never disappeared. The revelation that some hearts only recognize home after wandering. And now, your person is preparing to make a move they once swore they never would. But before they do, one final internal battle remains. One final fear. One final hesitation. One final emotional wall they must break through.